I am Marwan Cameron, and this is the Conduit. Oh man, it's Sunday, April 11. Beautiful day outside in Bremerton, Kitsap County. Spring is here. I hope you had a good weekend. It's time to start getting into the new week. Lots and lots and lots of stuff happened this weekend. First, shout out to Cynthia Brady. Happy birthday to you. A pillar in the community, fierce advocate for so many people. Happy 60th birthday. I appreciate being invited to celebrate your day with you. For all of you that know Cynthia, you know her story. You know the tremendous work, the tireless effort, the sacrifice that she has given and continues to give in the community. They always say things like, God broke the mold when they made this one and that one. And that is true of Cynthia. So Cynthia, happy birthday to you. It's good to see you with all your family around and folks celebrating you. Raymond tells me give people their flowers while they're still here. And that is a very true story. So, again, definitely need more folks like her. For sure. Also, on Saturday, Marvin Williams had its first vaccine event, which was fantastic. So shout out to the Marvin Williams Center, Dr. Lillian, and their efforts there, Olympic College, and their students and faculty and everyone involved in that. Shout out to Christina Rourke, United Way with Carl, so many different people involved to pull that together. Kitsap Public Health. So many people trying to create equity in our community to ensure that folks have access to the vaccine if they choose to get vaccinated. As you know, G2 is participating in that effort to help out with free transportation. So we will be there. But yeah, it's been a really good and full weekend. And so I'm coming on because many of you may not have seen the live broadcast from the church service from New Horizons Baptist Church, as I was invited to speak there today. So I wanted to put that information out just because there was a lot of good information that I provided to their congregation, and I want to make sure that everyone has it. So I'll be making my rounds to different areas, talking about new programs that are getting ready to launch, which is the Kitsap Eviction Prevention Assistance Program. So if you haven't heard about it, I am going to talk about that a little bit today in just a second. And it's really important. If it does not pertain to you, please try to share that information with someone else. If you took part in the ERAP program, which was the Eviction Assistance Program, you can still qualify for this new program. So don't think because you were helped once that you're not eligible now. You are eligible. Very important, as the moratorium of evictions will expire here on June 30. We've talked about it in so many of our interviews with different folks on the podcast. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I think there's going to be a lot of folks that find themselves in a bad place as that eviction wears off, that moratorium, and trying to find jobs and work and rental history and credit history and everything else. I don't think everyone has really looked at the impact of what that is truly going to what folks are truly going to face as they come kind of through that other side of that. So if you have access, please do that. And it's important too for the landlords to know, please pass that information to the landlords because again, they are trying to, oftentimes that is their income All right, that's their source of revenue to, take care of themselves and their families, especially for some of our aging community that's using that as a nest egg. And now, if they're not receiving their rent, then they're in a hard way also. So, please get this information out to as many people as possible, because the point of it is to really try to make people as whole as can be, keep people in their homes, which is tremendously important. So with no further ado, let's go on and get in to my conversation today at New Horizon Baptist Church.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Deacon Green. At this time, we're going to welcome Brother Marwan on up, and he's going to make a couple of announcements for you guys.
Amen.
Good morning, church.
Good morning. Good morning.
Give honor to God.
Yes.
Give my condolences to Reverend Mack, Reverend Rose. Give an honor to Reverend Ellington, the bishop.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me today. I wanted to read Psalm 106. Praise the Lord. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Who can utter the mighty acts of the Lord? Who can declare all his praise? God has been good. I stand here blessed and highly favored. It's 2021. So many people have passed, but I'm here, so I'm thankful today. I'm here for a lot of reasons. The last time I was here, I came to you to talk about the ERAP program, which was the Eviction Rental Assistance Program. Well, it's back. But I have a question for you. They put out the stats. Over $3.1 million in unpaid rental assistance was paid to landlords for 1,090 most vulnerable low-income households at risk of eviction here in the county. Did you get any of that $3.1 million?
No.
This is why I'm here. Our community, and they talk about it all the time, we are the most impacted. Unemployment, COVID, racism, whatever you call it. But yet, you have all of these equity initiatives that are trying to come into fruition. But still, we are behind. In the numbers that they put out, we're about 5% of the population. 23.7% of those funds went to the Black community. The problem is several-fold. The equity issues, of course. The census is terribly important for us to participate in when it comes around. Because if we're not counted in those numbers, then we're only counted as a smaller percentage, right? And so the reason why organizations like Gather Together, Grow Together are even involved with KCR and the money that's coming into the county is because of the inequities that have existed. So it's great that out of the 5.1% that was targeted for the Black community, 23% got those funds, but we know that there are far more of us that are hurting that did not receive any of those funds. We have to be counted. We are the most impacted, and therefore, they have to take more directed efforts and ensuring that we get, well, we won't be made whole, but to try to get a little bit so that we can make it through. Now, the new program that's coming was based on 30% AMI. And really what that means is, how much do you make per household? So for one person, it was $19,260. Well, that's going up to 50% AMI. So if you are a single person household, now you can make $32,950 and still qualify for these programs. And then of course, on up as your family increases. So many of us, again, who are working through the pandemic are not making a livable wage. We also know that in this county and all across the country, housing is not affordable.
Amen.
So it is tremendously important that you reach out, wherever you reach out, to get these funds. Whether you go directly to Kitsap Community Resources, whether you contact us, whether you go to the website, but we are here to help you. Now, this program is for Kitsap County. If you are outside the county, there are other counties that have other programs, so I'm speaking just to Kitsap County.
Amen.
Some of the things that have changed is you can also now apply for utility assistance at the same time. So that is a big deal. So if you need help with water, sewer, garbage, electricity, gas, internet, all of those things have also been included. If you are a homeowner, there's mortgage assistance that is also available, but that is through Kitsap Community Resources only. Now, our partnership is not only to help you navigate the process and help you to fill out and make sure you have all the paperwork that you need to qualify, but also we're providing free transportation to anyone to get those things done. So you can give us a call, 360-373-3000.
Amen, bro.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about was the vaccine. As Reverend Ellington was talking about, yesterday, Gather Together, Grow Together was down at the Marvin Williams Center, and they had their first vaccine event. So it's kind of their trial run where they had 100 doses of the vaccine for folks to take. May 1st is the big event, and we will be participating there as well, providing free transportation to anyone or family that needs to get to and from the Marvin Williams Center.
Amen.
Now, if there are other places that you need to get to, we will get you there also, so just give us a call. And that said, typically it's the 2-dose, right? So that transportation will be free for both doses. So you just call our office and you will be set up. We'll get you to the appointment and back. So for those two things, we are providing transportation for you. A couple other things that I wanted to talk about before I left. We are in need. As I said before, we're blessed. Last time I was here, I was talking about how 60% of businesses, especially our restaurants, had gone out of business and not to return, but here we are. But we continue to thrive. So much so that as we open back up, Concessions is back.
Amen.
So Friday is the Seattle Sounders, and of course we need volunteers for that. But because of our participation in the program for rental assistance and the program for the vaccine, we have funds available to pay drivers, which is awesome, through this campaign. So if you have a driver's license and a mostly clean driving record, please give us a call. You don't need a vehicle, but if you do, our insurance and protection will cover you. Last time I was here, I may have spoke about our construction company that we started.
Wow.
Well, it is thriving now. We have already completed 6 roofs at Viewcrest Village. We are now doing paint jobs, decks, and all types of other work. So we actually have more work than we have workers. That's a good problem to have. So whether you have experience or not, if you are hungry, if you want to learn some skills, give us a call. We have work for you.
Come on now.
Is it for Kitsap? You don't go to Pierce County?
We don't go to Pierce County, but if the job was big enough, we would, for sure. But if you're talking about transportation, yeah, we go out to Pierce County.
No, I'm talking about the roofs and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, give me a call.
All right, you got it. Another thing that we're trying to get into, as you know, our families, especially our children, have a lot of food insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to partner with the state, and we are working on completing our application so that we can serve the after-school meal programs to the community. So we're in the final steps of that. So we will be providing at least 100 meals. We will be the only organization that delivers. So we are the model for that. So 100 meals per day, we're going to need some help. Again, those are paid positions. So if you want to help us with food prep, give us a call. The last thing we need help with is social media. As you know, G2 has started a podcast called The Conduit.
Mm-hmm.
And we need folks, young or old, that have some skills in the internets, Instagram, video, audio, visual, all of those things. We could use your help. So reach out to us for that. Gain some skills, especially if you're thinking about maybe doing it for yourself at some point in time. The last two things that I wanted to come from, which obviously many of these things can help you, but these two are specific to New Horizons Baptist Church. The first one is Reverend Ellington has his 2x2 studies program, and we are thankful to be a part of that.
Amen.
As such, we are donating a laptop to 2x2 studies.
Amen.
So it'll be an i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM. So that will help to make that job easier. The other thing is Brother AJ Ellington is working on a project to bring a basketball tournament to the community. So 1-on-1, 3-on-3, but people have been isolated and social distancing, and as we start to come out of the pandemic and operate in whatever the new normal is going to be, we wanted to support that. 50 and above. 50 and above? So G2 is pledging $500 to that endeavor.
Wow. Oh my God.
I've said all I had to say today. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Amen.
Please give us a call, 360-373-3000. $3.1 million went into this community in a matter of months. And if you didn't get any, you need to get yours. If you had ERAP before, you are still eligible now. Please give us a call. The moratorium on eviction is over June 30th. I cannot stress that enough. So there are horror stories on landlords are still evicting people now, even though it's illegal. So once it is legal, they're going to evict people like no one's business. And so if there's no job to go to, if your rental history is shot because you haven't been paying and you don't have a job, where are these people going to go? There's just not enough resources. So hopefully this will sustain your relationship or repair the relationship with your landlord and keep you in place as things start to open up. I thank you for your time. God bless everyone.
Amen. That was a surprise. Thank you.
Wow. So
You got it.
that was a big surprise. Thank you, Brother Marwan. Wow. So I hope you guys were playing close attention. Of course, the service will be online, indefinitely. So if you didn't have the opportunity to write down the details that Brother Marwan was giving out, please rewatch, rewind, rewatch, and take advantage of the opportunities that God puts before you, such as what Brother Marwan was just talking about.
All right. So that was earlier today at New Horizon Baptist Church. So again, shout out to them. I do appreciate them letting me come and speak. Like I said, it's really important. Please get the information out. If you received help before, you are eligible to receive help again. If you're a homeowner and you don't have any tenants, you can contact KCR directly because they do have some mortgage help for folks that own their homes. And again, you can reach out as the landlord, you can reach out as the tenant. It's really important to try to sustain and repair any relationships that may have been fractured over this time. We don't know what this is going to look like, right? We're experiencing a spike in COVID right now. We're also seeing, the virus, continuously mutating and doing its things. We're seeing younger people, being infected with this. So, this is still ongoing. We're not out of the woods yet, as Dr. Fauci was speaking about. But it is important that we get the economy back on track as soon as we can, but we have to do it in a safe manner. So, do what you can. And again, if you want to be, vaccinated, the Marvin Williams Center is doing a huge event on May 1st. Stay tuned for more information on that. I'm sure that they will be putting out a lot more information. You can always go to the Kitsap Public Health website and get the most up-to-date information on the vaccine and what's available and just kind of following the news and things of that nature. Later on this week, I will have Holly Bolstead will be my guest on the Conduit from Kitsap Public Health. So that should be a very informative conversation, as I know she has a lot to bring and share with us. If you haven't had a chance yet, please go on over to our YouTube page. I interviewed Tracy Flood earlier last week, and that interview is fantastic. Really good one. She is so very accomplished, and there's just so many different things. I really do love talking to people from all walks, right? And what you find out, you learn things about people that you might not guess, right? And it's pretty cool. And you find out, how you differ, how you're similar on some things, but the kind of consistent throughway, if you will, is the passion for people, right? Of helping others and trying to make a positive impact in one's community. And so that is what I'm getting a sense of, no matter who it is that I talk to, right? In pretty much all these conversations. And so it's great, getting to know people that are in the community that either I didn't know at all, folks that I may have sat in the same room with or kind of know about, but really haven't, spoken with those folks. So I think it's really impactful, right? And it's important to know where people are coming from. You will hear in that interview that Tracy Flood is running to become a judge in this county. And so there's information over there where you can read her bio and what things are important to her. So check that out and check out our, the other videos that are over there. One thing that's really important to share with you is, as I started this, I started it on my Facebook page because I have, I think the friends that I have on Facebook are more than the friends that we have on the Gather Together, Grow Together page. But I'm trying to migrate our podcast over there. So if you have not liked the Facebook page for Gather Together, Grow Together, please do go over there and go ahead and subscribe or like or do whatever you need to do, so that you can get the podcast as they come on. I know some folks were like, I haven't seen a podcast in a while. And it's like, no, they're still being, we're still doing the podcast. They're just going straight to YouTube and they're going to the G2 page, not on my actual homepage. So yeah, that's important to note. Shout out to my little cousin, and she is going to visit HBCU, so she is going to be going home soon. So safe travels. Good to see you making your way. And so sorry your senior year is a COVID year, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Again, I also wanted to circle back and thank Cynthia. As you know, you can put your donations on Facebook when you have a birthday and pick a nonprofit, and she chose Gather Together, Grow Together. So it's always very special when folks that know us or in the community pick our organization, especially when they are working for an organization or part of other organizations. And so for them to select yours is definitely an extra special honor. So thank you for that so much, Cynthia. We do appreciate that. And again, really important to note that if you need transportation for KEPA appointments and or for the vaccine, those appointments are free. So please give us a call so that we can go ahead and schedule that for you. And as I was saying before, oh man, do we need employees? We have lots of work right now. So again, the Seattle Sounders game, their first game is Friday, so it should be awesome. I don't know who they're playing, but they are our champions, so it should be a pretty good game there as usual. We definitely need drivers. We're actually looking to hire 4 to 7 drivers, I believe. So we're trying to ramp up as like I said, we're getting pretty busy, and we're almost to the point where we may even be turning down some work or be scheduling some of the work out for a while. So, depending on how many folks we can bring in with the requisite skills. So yeah, please, contact us, share our information. If you know some folks that, enjoy any of the needs that we have, and or if they're interested in learning about, those different avenues, right? I think President Biden is looking at an infrastructure bill. There's a lot that we need to do in this country as far as our infrastructure. And the one thing about vocational skills, when you think about construction, you're going to need to work on your own home, and that's for sure. So whatever it is that you can learn, painting, repairing, hanging doors, repairing a roof, just whatever it is, drywall, framing, just kind of all the things, right? Yard maintenance, all of those things can be very helpful for you to use, not only to make a living from or extra money, but also to save you money in allowing you to do it yourself instead of having to hire that piece out. So yeah, please do contact us. As I said, we will be back. You will see me on Reverend Ellington's podcast, 2x2 Studies, this week. I will post, if you go and just type in 2x2 Studies on Facebook, you will get to see our inaugural episode together, which was last week. It recorded. And then I will also post that as soon as I, get a hold of it. I have it. I just need to upload it up to Facebook. But again, that will be a weekly podcast that we do. So stay tuned for that. But go ahead and check out that first episode over there by 2x2 Studies. And again, AJ Ellington, 15-year-old Central Kitsap High School student, wants to do some great things in the community. He's feeling it. He's very empathetic and sympathetic. Kids and adults in the community being, having to social distance for the last year. His interview is also on YouTube, and wants to do something in the community to bring folks together and have some fun as we are starting to come through this situation that we're in. I don't even know what to call it. Saying the new normal. I don't know if there is going to be a new normal. I think we're going to be in a constant state of change. So can I say the new change? Is that even a phrase. Can I coin that? The new normal, the new change, whatever it may be. But I love his spirit and daring to make a difference in the lives of so many other people. Putting on an event, I can tell you that he needs a ton of help. This is something that he's never done before, and so any support that you might be able to give to him as information goes out. I mean, referees and donations and prizes and just kind of the whole all of it. It's kind of in the planning periods, and I know that it's supposed to take place hopefully sometime in the summer. And so you'll be seeing quite a bit of information on that really soon. And so as an organization, it's really important for us to support kids when we can. And this is one of those efforts that we can really get behind. And so we believe in that. And so we're definitely supportive of AJ in this endeavor. So yeah, please do reach out to that. Let's see, what else do I want to share with you today? I will be coming on quite a bit this week. I think I want to say I have a light week of Zoom meetings. That is a lie. I might only have 15 this week, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think I'll be on a little bit more this week. There's a lot of things that have happened in the news that have kind of passed by and that I haven't had a chance to address or provide thoughts of. And some things I just want to present just as information that is not out in the mainstream media. And then I also like to put things out that add a different perspective to get us thinking and not just having kind of that, echo chamber, views and thoughts, because that's what's kind of prevailing and circling out there. So I like to put something counter to get people to think, and if they're being intellectually honest and able to critically think and critically listen, then we can establish a dialogue and have conversation and hopefully make some gains through it. But we have to learn how to have a conversation with each other. There's so many new relationships that I am experiencing through the Conduit. I think I've met more new people probably in the last month and a half than I know I've probably met in the last year, for sure. And what I mean by meeting new people, like meaningful, meetings where it's gone, beyond one conversation or just a hello, or, you're in the same room with someone for a meeting or a Zoom meeting or something like that. And that is, I should end the stream and then start a new one, but I'm just going to keep it going because I think all these things really do go together, right? Making an impact in the community is something that anyone can do. You don't have to be part of an organization. It's something that you can take on yourself. My father would always tell me charity starts at home. But when you're ready to reach out beyond your home, it doesn't matter what you do, just start to do something. In that end, there is so much history. There is so much pain, and that causes stagnation. It causes us not to grow. It causes us not to collaborate. Cynthia, for her birthday, one of the things that she said was profound. And I love learning from people. It's her 60th birthday, and she's got the mic and she's speaking. And she's saying that, she loves everyone. And, she says if she hurt anyone, then please forgive her. And I thought that was really interesting for someone to put out there on their birthday, right? They're there to celebrate her. And instead, she's asking for grace and forgiveness if she's done someone wrong. And I thought, how reflective, how deep, that in that moment that she would be introspective in that way. And, it speaks to her spirit, right? That even when it's about her, she's concerned more about healing the people around her and the people that she may have wronged. It really sat with me. I came home and, I thought about it last night. I thought about it, um, this afternoon a little bit. And I've had so many conversations in the last, week or so. And what I'll say is this: you have so many different experiences and you go through life and you bump into people, you have interactions. Those interactions may be positive, those interactions may be negative. They may sour, they may repair, they may do what they do. But today is a new day. And some people will have the saying of, we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. People throw things like that out all over the place, right? And I often wonder, do they actually really mean that? I disagree with you, but I can still work with you. We can still find a way forward. And I don't think that's always the case. But I don't think that we're actually going to make the gains if we cannot find the way to move forward together. And if we're holding on to pain or anger or mistrust, even if warranted, we've got to find a way to move forward. We're out of time. We're on a precipice. Things are bad for so many people that are unseen. And they're going to get worse for them, and they're going to get worse for a lot of other folks. We have to find a way forward, and we are not prepared. From an infrastructure standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, or from a spiritual standpoint. We have to heal. From a macro level, I mean everyone. But if I can drill down, if you will, Black men, we've got to find a way to collaborate and move forward. It's time. We can all be great and powerful in our own right. But, if we form like Voltron, what can't we do? Got to find a way. I don't mind being a leg on your robot if you don't mind being an arm on mine. Just so many conversations that I've had, so much division. It's a chasm that causes us to not trust, to not be able to build. And it's not going to work. And I know I don't want my work to be in vain. They say that we're due for the big earthquake. And if I'm speaking right, I think it's the Kitsap Resiliency Project. I was invited to a Zoom meeting with them. And they were talking about how we're not ready to be, we're not sustainable, right? That we have like 3 days of food if we were cut off from the rest of Washington, right? Because we're on a peninsula. And so I think about the low income and primarily the Black community. And what does that mean for us if such a thing were to happen? What would have happened to us if during the pandemic we had suffered what Texas suffered when their power grid went down? We can hold on to whatever it is we're holding on to. I asked my dad, he is a Baptist minister, rest in power. And I would have these conversations with him because I couldn't understand how folks in the church would be so self-righteous, but then be full of sin, and do these things. And, my dad would say, he said, um, church is a hospital for sinners. And, I had to really think about that. Like, what does that mean? The hell does that mean, Dad? Church is a hospital for sinners? Like, okay. But you know what? That's pretty damn accurate, right? You go to the hospital when you're really sick. You go to church when you're sick. He who is without sin cast the first stone. So nobody is righteous, not even the man or the woman that sits in the pastoral chair. So if I think about it like that, and we're all trying to do what it is we can do, my sin is bad. Shout out to you, Raymond. I see you. But I can look at your sin and say, well, you know what? Yeah, I might not be doing the best, but you, man. And that kind of comes with he who is without sin cast the first stone. Well, no one's casting any stones. We're all very peaceful because we're all very sinful. But that's a lot harder to do in practice. Sounds great in theory. But I think he was accurate in that. And then the challenge is how do you put that into practice? How do you forgive? People will say, well, I forgive, but I don't forget. Okay. But how do you move forward? Have you truly forgiven if you can't navigate together? I don't know if this was just something that was on my mind. And it's something that I've thought about from time to time, but definitely hit me really hard when Cynthia was speaking on her birthday and asking for forgiveness for anyone that she may have wronged on her day when she was being celebrated. I thought that was really deep. And I think that is the spirit that we truly need in order to move forward, because none of us are going to walk forward in this life without making mistakes. We tell our children, you fall down, you get back up, right? They're learning how to walk. They fall, they cry, they're hurt, they're scared. They don't want to try it again. They hold on to the couch, they hold on to your leg. But when we become adults, we don't tend to really do a good job of that, right? So how do we move forward? Especially those that are helping other people, or say that we want to be helping other people. Because those of us that are helping people also need help ourselves, right? Because we have flaws. We have the things that we're grappling with. We have the things that we struggle with. We have our weaknesses. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? And if you agree with what it is that I'm saying, what might you do about it to actively try working past it or working through it? Is there a relationship that you can repair? If it's not repairable, if you find yourself in the same space as someone else, how do you navigate that effectively so that you can get the most out of being in that space? So for me, that's kind of my intention, right? Since Raymond is listening, I'll address him directly. He had a request of me for something that I wasn't doing. And it's something that I've got to be accountable for, right? And he said something really deep. You know, if iron sharpens iron, but you don't have anything to sharpen it against, then the blade gets dull. We say that we want to be held accountable to each other, but then take offense if that other person tries to hold us accountable. So I will say, come and talk to me, whether it's hard to hear or not. If I have broccoli in my teeth, let me know. Don't let me go out stage with broccoli in my teeth. Please don't let me go talking to folks with bad breath. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's happened to you. You've been in a someone has some breath that's kicking like a donkey kick, and you don't say anything to them. Had a couple teachers, professors like that, and it's like, man, I gotta ask a question, but boy, that breath is kicking like a Wu-Tang album. Man, let me know. Give me a breath mint. Tell me to go brush my teeth. Tell me to go Lysol. Do something. But otherwise, my blade will be dull. And I'll be less effective in whatever it is that I try to endeavor. And so will you. So that's my plan. That's my plan. I think a lot of times we think about things, but we don't always put those thoughts into action, right? We don't process it into some type of a goal that's actionable and that we can measure, right? This is something that I can look at. I talked about SMART goals about maybe a month and a half ago, right? Something that's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and has some type of a time frame. It's the acronym for SMART. So me, I want to be more cognizant of how I work my way through life. In particular, the spaces that I find myself with folks that I may not see eye to eye with, or I have some type of conflict with. And I can measure that because I can reflect on that interaction. I can see if I'm passive aggressive or petty, dismissive, if I ignore the person, if I don't really consider what it is they're saying, if I'm only listening to counter and not listening for understanding and comprehension. I think it's attainable because it's something that I'm cognizant of. I'm pulling it more to the front. What I probably will do is make myself a sticky note that I will put on the computer because likely that interaction is going to be in a Zoom meeting. And so we may have all had that person in the Zoom meeting. As soon as they start talking, your eyes start rolling in your head. Then you catch yourself and you're like, am I on live camera or am I muted? You know, and maybe try to understand that that's who they are. That's how they process information. That may be a space where they feel like they're able to actually add value or input because they have a lack of that ability to feel that way in other spaces. And so, can I extend grace to that person in more of a non-judgmental way? And what does that harm me to extend that to that person? Okay. Here goes John again. Whew, what's going to be this time? 35 seconds, 2 minutes. Pastor Mac was talking about on Easter Sunday about folks cutting him off in traffic and he getting really upset about it and then learning how to navigate past that. And I've gotten a lot better with that myself. And oftentimes, as I tell other people, you know, the person that cut you off usually has no idea that they did it. And if you do get into a space where they can see you and you're, you know, visibly upset at them, you know, they're typically apologetic, like, oh, I'm really sorry, my bad. But if you never do catch up to that car, well, you're upset and you're pissed because they cut you off. They had no idea that they did it. Your day has been affected for the next minutes or hours, and they have no idea. So why'd you allow yourself to go there? I think it's realistic and relevant as far as a SMART goal, because I want to be able to do my job better. I want to be able to serve my community more effectively. I want my interactions with the people around me to be as authentic as possible. And as far as the time frame, it's the 11th. I'm going to give myself to the end of the month, and I'll reflect on that and check myself on my interactions. I could go further and journal after a Zoom meeting, indicate who I have those issues with, reflect on how I interacted with them in the space, say what I did well, what I did wrong, how I would do it again if I had it to do it over, and how I'm going to conduct myself next time when I'm in that space with that person or when I'm in the space with another person. I hope that's helpful. I do. Well, y'all know tomorrow is my favorite day. It's Monday. The week gets started again. We got a lot going on in G2. We got a lot going on. So we're super excited. Again, please contact us. We do need your help. I definitely could use your help. If you have any kind of social media skills, editing, or things of that nature, do reach out because, oh boy, you see the what do they say? The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Again, if you need any of our services, transportation, hot dinner on Thursday, please contact us by Tuesday so we can put you on our route. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook. Please follow us at our Gather Together, Grow Together page, as I will start to only broadcast the podcast there. So if you're not getting the alerts, please head on over there and please subscribe, like, and share. Of course, free transportation for our vaccines and the KEPA appointments. KEPA starts tomorrow morning. So call in and make your appointments. I think I said this during the service earlier. There were, I believe, 3 rounds of ERAP when it first went. And for some folks that took longer getting their information in, whether it just took longer for whatever reason or they were kind of dragging their feet, right? At some point, there's a bottleneck and things have to slow down so they can process the paperwork. I don't know how it's going to go next time, but it could happen. Don't procrastinate. I'd hate to see you lose money and miss out. Hedge your bet. Fill out the paperwork. And, I know there were a few people that we helped last time that weren't sure that they wanted to take advantage of it. And it's like, well, probably better for you to complete the paperwork and then decide not to use it than not complete the paperwork, then decide that you need it and they're out of funds, or, you're waiting now. 3.1 million in this county in a matter of months. It's a tremendous amount of money. A tremendous amount of money. Marvin Williams event, May 1st, coming up in a few short weeks. If you would like to get vaccinated, you can check out. They'll have information on their Facebook page, I'm sure, or their website, and also Kitsap Public Health, and I will also be sharing the information. 2x2 studies later on this week, and more information to come on the basketball attorney with AJ Ellington. So I definitely wanted to come on and talk to you. And I know Sunday's the beginning of the week, but for me, it's like the end of the week. I don't know. Do you feel the same way? That's how I feel. Sunday's like the end of the week. The weekend's over. Monday is about to start all over again. But man, I love Mondays. It's funny too is I told, who was I talking to? I met Carl with United Way. And I was wearing a tie, and he said something about wearing a tie in this county. And I told him, hey, I wear a tie about 6 or 7 times a week. I usually have a tie on. I do still have a tie on. I'm always wearing a tie. It's actually pretty comfortable for me. But guys, I'm Marwan Cameron. This is the Conduit. I will see you next time.